Is the Tesla Model S the ultimate rent-a-car? To find out, Andy and I are on a bit of a road trip, a big day out here in London.
Special thanks to a company called White Car Rental. It's where you can use their app to rent a Tesla Model S for several days. So we've got a day to mess around in London in a car, so we're just going to see as much of London as we can. It's a really nice car to drive. It's very quiet. The steering, for such a big car, the steering's very light. The brakes are fantastic. They've got a really nice feel through the brake pedal. And yeah, generally it's just a very pleasant car to drive, particularly in a busy city. It does, you know, what, 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, I believe, which
Something
is
like that.
Sort of supercar levels almost. You know, when you put your foot down, the power and torque is there to do what you want it to do.
So not only is there a huge console in the middle, a huge 17-inch display, there's also a fully digital dashboard behind the wheel. So what are you actually seeing on that?
On the left-hand side, I've got my navigation, so it's got a little map where I should go, what the next turn is. Then in the middle, I've got a representation of my car, and it shows me other vehicles around, and that sort of shows you what the car is seeing, basically. And then on the far right-hand side, I've got the power use, so it's showing me, there's like a sort of average line, and it's showing me when I'm above and below.
But do you want all this right there? Isn't that a bit distracting from driving?
It's not too bad, to be honest, because a lot of it you can ignore. I mean, you know, the nav's quite useful, and you don't need to pay attention to anything but the speedo most of the time, unless you really, really want to. What is it like to drive? What have you enjoyed so far?
Well, I normally drive a Ford Fiesta, and this is a bit of a step up, actually, I would say.
You reckon?
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
Oh, you You sent the camera flying as well. I hope it's still working.
I think the trick is, when you've got a passenger, wait for them to be on their phone, to be not paying attention, you know, just something out of the ordinary, and then just whack the acceleration.
We've had water bottles go flying, sunglasses. Those are your sunglasses, by the way, mate.
So I've broken them, all right. So we're going to Richmond Park, and I don't know the way, so we've put it into the sat-nav system. Well, Andy's put it in. What's it like actually using it?
The screen is big, and you know, that's great, and you get this kind of nice little kind of list of the next sort of, you know, turns and stuff like that. It's okay, but yes, it's this when you're kind of dragging your finger around and moving the map around, it's not that responsive. It's a little bit jerky.
So we're still in London. We're on a pretty busy A road, but I think now is a good time to give the Autopilot a test. Just below the left indicator stick, there's another type of indicator stick. If you press it once towards you, and the car has taken over the pedals, essentially, the brake, the accelerator, and so all I need to do is steer. It's sticking to the speed limit. We're doing 40 exactly on the speedometer. Now, this is where it gets a bit more fun. If I do it twice, if I bring it towards me twice, you get a little bong, and now the car is driving itself.
The machines are taken over, Tom.
It's very important to keep your hands on the wheel, or at least basically right next to it.
As I found out earlier when I was using it.
A couple of times we've had to take over, so it's not 100% there yet. My feet aren't doing anything, my hands aren't doing anything, and we're sticking to the speed limit, cars all around us, and it works.
We've already done, what, 2 hours driving
about
today?
2 hours.
And we must start the day about 260 on the range. We've still got 204
I'm really impressed by that.
It kind of feels like that thing, unless you were going on a really long trip throughout the whole day, you could quite comfortably like top it up at the end of every day.
Yeah,
even though you
never
can't
even think about it.
You know, unless you're driving huge miles every day, you're probably not going to get too empty too often.
Yep. So we've had our big day out, we've been all over London, and we're finally here, ended up in Richmond Park. Is the Tesla Model S the ultimate rent-a-car?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if I was to splash out on a rental car, you know, I'm not getting a cheap thing, then this is something a bit different. Sure, you could get a Beamer, you could get an Audi, and it'd be lovely and comfortable, but you're not going to drive one of these very often. And it's a pretty cool experience when you do, and it's something
a very cool experience.
It's something you remember. So yeah, I think it probably is the ultimate rental car.
No CO2 emissions, no congestion charge. And we're also here in beautiful Richmond Park, and there's no pollutants. It's a clean car.
Yeah. And there's so many other more benefits as well, because it's completely silent. Bit of an issue with pedestrians, and we found that driving around you have to be a bit careful. But you know, anyone who lives in the middle of a city, can you imagine a time when all cars are electric and how much more peaceful and enjoyable that place is going to be?
So that's it for our Tesla Model S special. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and thank you, Andy, for letting me have a go at one of these. If you've got any questions or you want to know more about the Model S, let us know in the comments below.